Hey, there I am. Hey everyone, welcome back to Saturday Morning Toytoons, the weekly live stream here on my channel in which we gather around the modern day campfires of our iPhone screens and our computer monitors and celebrate things that happen in the week in geek. Also, as most of you who will know, at the top of the coming hour, I will be live posing a my Hot Toys figure of choice. In this case, today is the Boba Fett 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from the Book of Boba Fett, which is awesome because it's a very special figure for me right now because this makes my collection complete. My Boba Fett collection is 100% complete. Every figure from Hot Toys I own, every figure from Sideshow I own. I don't own the ones from Medicom because why would I? So, just kidding. They're okay. They're okay. They're just under 6 scale. They're not quite 6 scale. They're more like 6.5 scale, 7th scale, something like that. They're really, really, really short. Yeah. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Did you have a good weekend geek? I had a pretty good weekend geek. I did a lot of stuff for my employer. I can't really talk about it right now, but something's happening, and it's kind of cool. It's not what I hoped for, but it's still kind of cool. But you'll stay tuned. You'll see where that goes. Also, some really cool stuff coming down the pipe elsewhere in that line of thing, but of course I can't talk about because I didn't come here to talk about work. So that'll be enough about work. Got my cup of tea, Earl Grey, hot, a little bit of cream, whole lot of honey. And let's see, what else has been going on this week? I made a list. I made a list of things that I'm going to talk about. Last night I was on, I don't know if anybody caught it, but you can also catch it in a rerun. I was on the Toy Quest 101 channel on a live stream featuring Daniel Bell as the guest of honor. Superstar sculptor Daniel Bell. Some things fell down there. I don't know. I don't even know what it was. Anyway, yeah, superstar sculptor Daniel Bell was in the house at Toy Quest 101 last night, and I was in a shockingly large panel of 9 guests total, like 10 people total, including Miguel. And it was a great show. It was a lot of fun. It was very insightful. It was good to hear Daniel's thoughts on his process and how he got to where he is today. Talked a lot about his journey, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Lots of really cool people that are regulars on that show were there, as well as a couple of newcomers. I even was introduced to a really solid new artist, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. New to me, at any rate. So anyway, what else we got going on today? Something else I wanted to talk about was... Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to break out a figure. I'll have to walk off screen and get it because there was a test that I wanted to conduct in the name of science, and I forgot to grab the figure, but I'll get to that here in a little bit. The figure being the Super Battle Droid by Hot Toys. I still have it here in the house, but I boxed it up. I'm going to have to drag it out to do what I want to do. Speaking of figures that I need to drag out, this guy is still on my table. I think I finally got the pose that I wanted to with him, and it's going to, to the untrained eye, it's going to be an unremarkable pose, but I'm pretty happy with how this thing turned out. Just wanted to get Tony walking away from the battle after the battle with the final battle with Ironmonger. I suspect rather that this figure was meant, the base was meant to represent Ironmonger coming out of the ground in the parking lot outside of Stark Industries. But I'm choosing, tell your own story, tell it your way. I'm choosing to believe that the Ironmonger figure is actually just done, toast. I know that he blew up at the end, whatever. But, again, headcanon. Yeah, tell your own story, tell it your way. So, I'm gonna go grab that figure. Some really dramatic music going on here. I did not expect that. Yeah, here it is. It's like I'm unboxing it all anew. Because I had it all packed up to ship back, but I just really want to do this thing. And, you know, it may not work out the way that I want to, but that's science, dudes. Seriously, you form a hypothesis, which leads to a theory, and then you test that theory through experimentation. And then you note your results in the log, so to speak. And what I'm gonna do with this is I noticed a lot of comments. Why? Essentially mocking the decision on the part of Hot Toys to use AAA batteries. And I'm like, why? Why? Here's the thing. There it is. Super Battle Droids 6-scale figure by Hot Toys, okay? And I'm sure that there are other videos of this thing that have been released since the first look dropped on Sideshow's website. But you've got this big battery compartment back there that holds 2 AAA batteries. I'm gonna keep making that mistake. Just count on it. And yeah, I just think that the people leaving those comments, they're not exactly thinking it through. Because here's the deal. For years with Hot Toys figures, we've had button cell batteries as the power source of choice. And that's all well and good. I actually just genuinely, I recognize the need for using button cell batteries in most Hot Toys figures, because usually, in the case of just say this Iron Man figure, you've got something that's powering the head. You got something that's powering the chest. You got other batteries that are powering the arms, and maybe even more batteries in the legs. In this case, you have exactly that. But there's no room for a substantial power source in any of those elements, mostly because there are components, different components to the torso. So you're not going to be able to fit a large power source into there. Arc reactor notwithstanding. You're not going to be able to fit a large power source into the head. Definitely can't fit it into those arms. So you're left with button cells, which are, I'm going to say this right here. No die-cast parts. It was never advertised as having die-cast parts, and it doesn't, I believe that any time that Hot Toys does something that's die-cast is actually in the title of the figure. So no, if it was die-cast, if there were any die-cast elements in there, then it would have been advertised in the name of the figure. So yeah, that's a big fat no to that question. But I'm glad you asked it, because a lot of people are. So here's the thing. Recently, Australia banned the importation of those button cell batteries into the country. So Hot Toys had to pivot. And that's why we've seen a dramatic increase in the number of figures that Hot Toys releases that are powered by USB. That's not an answer to the call for USB power, because installing USB power into these figures, it costs a lot more money, and the cost of the figures has to go up in proportion. So that was kind of undesirable, but it's been mandated now because of this whole situation in Australia, and rightly so. I think that Australia was very smart to do that. But for a figure like this, with a solid piece of a torso, just this big brick of a torso up here, there's ample room to put a larger power source in there. Say AAA batteries, which will outlast to an order of magnitude the capacity of button cell batteries. To the extent that button cell batteries last, what, like 15-20 minutes before they really start to fade noticeably? But you put two AAA batteries into this figure to power this tiny little light because you can, and that light's gonna last for a really long freaking time. So before the end of the show, I want to be able to plug this thing in, plug batteries into this thing, and actually turn it on and just leave it sit. Leave it sit for not necessarily the entirety of the show. Well, yeah, for the entirety of the show until the show ends, and maybe then some. If it lasts for days, which I think is asking a lot, but if it lasts for days, I'll post updates. Still going. I'll probably just drop a photo in the community tab on YouTube. But I think that's going to be a fun experiment. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Anyway, so that's about all for my preamble, other than to say that if you guys aren't watching Criminal Record on Apple TV Plus, I think you're missing out. Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor on Doctor Who, stars in this, as well as, what is her name? Cush Jumbo. who's, if you watch The Good Wife, you probably know her. If you've watched, it's a great movie called, I think it's Vera. I think it's Vera. Yeah, yeah, she's in that as well. But yeah, she's a really well-known actress from England, and she's freaking amazing in this. I'm really looking forward. I've only watched one episode, but I'm looking forward to catching up with it over the weekend. It looks like some guy has actually been watching it, so that's something. Some guy is something. How about that? Now, I'm not going to start the experiment on the battle droid just yet, I think, because I also am lacking a screwdriver out here, so I'd have to retire. You know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to go get it. Be right back. That didn't take long. There we go. Forgot my top light. Forgot my other light. Oh my god, I'm so unprepared. Lighting is important, people. There we go. Now I'm fully lit. I feel like my my black hoodie was making me have the appearance of a floating head, depending on how you're lighting your stuff. So anyway, here we go. Got my trusty rusty precision screwdriver set from Husky, who also makes my shooting table in my studio, actually. Now I got a troublemaker of a battery pack here that is kind of cross-threaded. So I have to really mess with it to get it to pop out. So bear with me on this one while I do it. And, you know, talk amongst yourselves. I'm also noticing some problems with my focus. Dudes, I am so unorganized today, and I apologize. But if you're watching this in the rerun, at least you have the power to, there we go. Got it. If you're watching this on a rerun, then you have the power to fast forward. Past the bits that don't have my bearded mug in them. So let's go ahead and drop this in. All right. 2 in. And we don't even need to put the thing back onto it. We just have to turn it on. And these are the batteries that I had in it before. So this has already been running for like an hour on this battery. Look, you can see just how nice and bright it is, right? So I'm just gonna sit this guy right here and just let him sit, and we'll do a periodic test throughout the course and just let it run and see where it goes. Now that that's done, we can move forward with seeing who's here. Keith Lee was first out of the gate, shortly followed, I'm sure, by Steve131 from across the big pond. Gotta send a shout out to Keith Lee, man. What a pal. Reached out to me earlier this week, said, dude, buy these. He located on Amazon, I'm sorry, not Amazon, but on Facebook Marketplace, a pair of Detoffs that a dude was selling in Olivet, Missouri for $50 a piece. And I was like, I don't know where I'm going to put them. Why would I buy them? And then I thought it through and I was like, okay. So I contacted the guy. He said, yeah, if you want to come get them. And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, well, first come, first serve. So if you want to put $50 down and pay me the other $50 when you get here, that'd be great. Otherwise, it's first come, first serve. So I sent him the money immediately. Went to his house. It turns out, I'm not going to say any names here, but it turns out that a member of the Poser Posse had legitimately gone to his house to buy these things, and I had already snaked them out from under him. It's mind's eye. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's mind's eye. Yeah, it was something. It was really something. But yeah, I got there, I broke them down, I brought them home. They're in the basement right now. I'm missing, here's the parts. I put all the parts in a plastic bag, and somehow I got out of there without one of the little bolts, the hex bolts that go into the top and the bottom of the base. One of these little guys. I'm straight up missing it. That is going to be a focusing issue. Let's see. What am I looking at here? we're good there. What I don't need is this thing powering off. That's good, okay. And, oh, there we go. Okay, cool. There we go. Focus point was off that way a little bit, I want to say. Man, I had all the time in the world. I had everything set up and ready to go before I went to bed last night, which I never do. So I'm wondering if there's a way that I can find another one of these, or if I can get away with just using 3 in either the top or the bottom. I don't know. DTOF veterans, talk to me. What do you think? Do you have any experience with that? Get it out there. But yeah, thank you so much, Keith Lee, for bringing that to my attention. I now have 2 extra DTOFs in the house, which can either be used for spare parts if mine break, or hopefully, better yet, I hope to be able to find a way to utilize them either in the studio or out here or somewhere for backgrounds for the videos. Yeah, I'm running out of room in the ones that I have anyway, so yeah. But anyway, thank you again. Some guys here, and so is Steve Nara. We got both Steves in the house. That's good. Pierre P is here from sunny Florida. Is it sunny there? It's not here. It sucks here. It says, so 14 Wellington. It says, hiya. Linda is here as well. I saw that she was here before the show. Rune Samuelson from Scandinavia. Oh, God. We're truly global today. Luis is here. Beautiful posers. Man, thank you. It's the nicest thing anybody said about me all day. So many Luis. Simo's here. What's up, John? Simo. I'm always going to do that. I'm always going to start by mispronouncing your nickname, your screen name. Linda is here. Did we say Linda? Yeah, I thought I said Linda. In the DTOF. You should know a little bit about that, about what I was just asking about. I look forward to seeing whatever comments you leave down there. Bad Wolf Media. What's up, Mike? Good to hear from you. And I think we've got a show we're going to soon, right? My friend Scott Heinemeyer has invited me over to his house to watch some big wrestling to do on pay-per-view or something like that. And I would love to go, but I also have something to do tomorrow that is going to really take up a lot of my time, and I have things that I need to do here, so. That's good tea. I don't always say that. It's up, prime time. Yeah, it is. I got to do the first look on it, and so I'm familiar with it. Fun fact, I broke that figure. My fault, not the figures. That little thing that I always tell you guys to do where you manipulate the joint and as close to the point of the joint as possible so that you're not creating unnecessary leverage that might actually break the figure. Yeah, that happened. I proved my theory. I proved myself right on that one. Commander Green is here. All right, dude. What's going on? You dropped a couple of good photographs this week. Oh, that's something else I forgot to do. I am not prepared for 3 strikes. We'll have the 3 strike segment coming up. At some point, I'm going to have to email or basically just transfer a couple of files for myself. Turn the volume down here. I feel like I'm shouting over everything. TK421 Collectibles is here. What's up, dude? I just watched your video yesterday on Stormtrooper Luke Skywalker. That was fun. I'm glad you were able to do a comparison between that and the OG Luke Skywalker, Farm Boy Luke. Kind of picked up on, it kind of looked like there were like some beads of either perspiration or perhaps moisture from, I almost said the Sarlacc pit, but from the Dianoga, the trash compactor. That's it. Looked like there was like drops of moisture on his face in the new portrait, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, but it kind of felt that way. Ruin's saying hello again. DTOF. Book of Boba Fett show can be debated if the figure is outstanding. It doesn't need to be debated. I think that it did what it needed to do, and I freaking loved it. I just binged it again last week or the week before. And I legitimately like it more every time that I watch it. And I don't know why that is with some things. I mean, I liked it fine the first time that I saw it. There were things that I was just like, what's that about? That's an interesting decision. But, and I've got some insider knowledge as to what went into the production of it, but that I can't share. But, yeah, it's a good show. It's a lot of fun. It's Star Wars. It's pure Star Wars, with a couple of other things thrown into the mix, which is kind of what it's kind of what Star Wars does. I was watching Bad Batch, several Bad Batch episodes this week, and that it's like, okay, let's do a. Well, this was in Clone Wars, but I was gonna say let's do a Godzilla episode. All right. Yeah, they just borrow from cinema tropes and then they make a Star Wars story out of it, and I think that's a fine formula. Roll with it. I want to see more of that. I want to see John Wick in Star Wars. See some Jedi or Sith go on a rampage because somebody murdered his Lothcat to get a hold of his land speeder, speeder bike, swoop bike, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Everybody's saying hi, that's good. Kumar's here. What's up, Kumar? Has it been a bit? I feel like you haven't been in the chats for a little while. Could be wrong. Hope all you guys are doing great. Also enjoyed that session with Daniel Bell. So surprised on how he educated himself. Yeah, dude, that's just self-taught to the extreme. Self-taught to the extreme. Daniel Bell is a real talent. And he's gotten better. He showed natural talent out of the gate, and he's only improved over time. And you heard him talk about a few things that, you know, he didn't really acknowledge improvements, but he talked about certain things that he does as part of his process that I'm sure helped with that, like generating small versions of his sculptures just to get an idea of visual representation of how it's going to look when it prints. I think that's invaluable. It's like a rough draft. But I was really, really thrilled to talk to Daniel last night. I have a lot of his pieces here. Silver Surfer right there. I've got behind me here, I've got Colossus. I've got Thor Breaker of Brimstone. I've got the Captain America that he did up, which I think he said was his first piece that he did for Sideshow. And, of course, I've got Daredevil back there in my bedroom, which is, you know, I mentioned that last night. Didn't make it awkward, but I had a fun time pretending that it could. Yes, dude. Always. Constantly. Constantly. I want to say that Picard, that Next Generation, was the reason I first tried Earl Grey tea back in the 90s. And loved it immediately. I'm like, oh, this is what hot tea is. Okay, I can do that. I hope I'm not skipping anybody. Apologies if I have, but I'm not going to skip Marlon Braswell. What's up, Marlon? Welcome to the show. I think that's forgivable. That's totally forgivable. I mean, as much fun as we had, and as good as that show was, and insightful as that show was, the conversation was, you owe it to yourself to catch up on For All Mankind. It's a great, great, great show. I love some good alternative fiction. That is definitely good alternative fiction. Alternative history. Yeah, that's it. Alternative fiction. Mr. Mom Collectibles is in the house. What's up, dude? Either you posted a very valuable video to your channel this week, or I just caught it for the first time, and that would be shopping for a used Hot Toys figure. There's a lot of good insight in that, and I think that other channels have done such shows, but I don't think that there can be enough. There can never be enough access to tips for shopping for used Hot Toys figures. So that was a very valuable video, bro. Good on you to put it out there. I know I'm late to the party, but I finally binge watched What If? Okay, season 2. I need Helen on the White. Yeah, I don't see that a new Hydra Stomper happening because the other one is still available. I think that the smart business decision there would be not to, but you know, Hot Toys, I'm not going to accuse them of not making smart business decisions, but they will straight up do things even when the conventional wisdom tells them that they shouldn't. They do it because they can, and because they love the hobby, and they continue to make money off of it. I hope other companies learn from their passion. I just want to point out that it's been about 15 minutes now, and that battery's still going strong. So I will continue with those updates. Let's see. Hope you're good, Kumar. Oh, you know what? I don't think I saw that. Open Instagram. Kumar. There we go. Search function. Was it the one with, yeah, I'm guessing it's got to be the one with, Tarkin. Right? Is that the one we're talking about, TK? Is that your #1 favorite Hot Toy? That's fun. I totally ripped this off for my own display, Kumar. I mean, I didn't go all in like you did with so many figures. I only have a couple of Shore Troopers, and the KX Enforcer droid. Wow, I like how you've got the one on the right. He's got the one on the right with both blasters in hand. If I can get it to focus there. There we go. But yeah, but if you see the one here by my fingers, he's got the pistol in one hand and the rifle, the E-22 in the other. And that's a good look. Did you have to Photoshop those eyes? Or is that all in camera? Blueberry cream cheese tart. Because I haven't gained enough weight over the holiday season. I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh, yeah, I am missing something. The notorious BDP is in the house. What's up, Dog Pound? Good to see you as always. Everybody appreciates it when you show up, as evidenced by the constant shout-outs. Follow the process, not the plan. That is wise. Hey, there he is. There's Michael, Collector Michael on Instagram, and always worth watching, or always worth checking out his stuff. 4:10 p.m. in Ilias. Buongiorno to you too, my friend. Always good to have you aboard. Your enthusiasm is first rate. Seriously. All collectors need to be like that. All geeks need to be like that. Take note. Mr. 1K DX19, hope you're good. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm not in the loop. So many people greeting Big Dog Pound. I'd like to thank the Academy for recognizing talent when they see it. That's all I've got to say, because in truth, I have no one to thank but myself. That's going to be a sticker. Anyway. Triple A's have to be better than those crappy ones. Hot Toy Sense. Well, you know, you work with what you're given. And seriously, I mean, if you can think of a better way to power Iron Man than using button cells, apart from USB, then, you know, I'm all ears, and I'm sure Hot Toys is too. But in reality, they're doing the best they can with what they've got. Well, the Dark Trooper wasn't advertised as diecast and head, and I think that's where the expectation has come from for the Battle Droid. Where was it, in the legs? I was just working with you the other day, and I guess I just didn't pay attention. Maybe, yeah, but, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Did they shoot themselves in the foot with that? I don't know. With every figure is going to be a special case and can have its own eccentricities. And if I'm right, if the diecast elements are in the legs, then I could see those being added to offset the center of gravity and make it so that it stays upright more. Mine's in the other room, and I could go get it, but I've already walked off camera so many damn times. But if what I suspect is the case, and that's where the diecast elements are located, then yeah, that would make sense. But it's totally unnecessary with this. It's a very stable figure, and still bright. And doesn't really need them. And again, I've talked about it on the channel a lot. The diecast fetishists, plastic is better than diecast. Overall, plastic is better than diecast. You're gonna get sharper edges out of the molds than you do with diecast, and it's just gonna look more realistic. You lose stuff with diecast by using diecast. You lose detail by using diecast. Plastic is always going to be superior to that, and I mean, I know it's come a long way, but that still holds true. And I'm just looking at this as I talk about this. I'm looking at this figure, this Super Battle Droid figure here, and I recognize that some people probably think that an all-metal figure like a Super Battle Droid would be a prime candidate for the use of diecast in its construction. But again, you'd lose these crisp details like here in the legs if you were going to be using that, or even in the here in the joints. And I'm not willing to sacrifice that personally, just for heft. And that's really, really all that you get that's positive from diecast is this weight that creates a sense of quality that tricks your brain into thinking that the quality is improved because it's heftier. And that's just not the case. It's legitimately a selling tool, a marketing gimmick. It pleases people. It pleases the collectors. And it's working, but it's also more expensive. That's why the diecast Iron Man figures, apart from all their ridiculously intricate engineering, that's why they're so expensive, right? If I'm wrong on that, please somebody correct me, because I feel like that's really the only reason. Yeah, I don't understand the detractors. I don't think that the detractors understand. They're just looking for something to rag on. There's that false equivalency that comes from that people experience when they're complaining about something. There's this sense that when you're bitching about it, then you come off as some sort of an authority figure or a figure who's knowledgeable in that particular topic. But, you know, cleverer minds know better. You're just whiny. Yeah, dude, definitely. I've got 30 minutes before I have to start posing. The Empire Strikes is here. I'm not familiar with that name. Are you new? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. Am I going to army build with super battle droids? Is 2 an army build? No. I'm getting 2. That brings up another thing. I have 2 Geonosis battle droids on their way to me right now. So that's pretty exciting. So that will bring my total to 3. 1 will always be displayed with 3PO's head. The other 2 will potentially not even be displayed, but will be used for photography. Which I already have. I think I counted 16 sideshow battle droids, including the trio of Geonosis droids, a security battle droid, and the rest are just all infantry battle droids. But I've got to complete my Hot Toys Attack of the Clones collection, so display. It's true. I felt so bad because I'd posted in the Poser Posse asking people what they thought the best way to transport Detoffs was. And immediately, Mind's Eye chimed in like, I just went over to this guy's house who had 2 for $50 each. And he said they'd already been sold. I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, that was awkward. Didn't even occur to me that somebody else that I knew would be after it. What's this? Figure posting channel, a member for 7 months? Good God. Have we been around that long? Just kidding. I know we've been around for, like a year, right? More than a year and a half. But memberships have only been around for about 7 months. So thank you very much for that. Much appreciated, Anthony. You're all right. I don't care what Keithley says about you. Hey, Keith. You can order replacement parts for my Kia. Oh. All right. Very cool. Nice to know. I will follow up with that as soon as the live stream ends, because part of me is anxious to get these things assembled. Oh, you got the Riva on record, TN. Good for you. Good for you. I really love that after all the hateful comments about the Riva figure and about the Riva character, I really enjoyed seeing this week that on Sideshow's website it sold out. Way to go, collectors. Thank you for that. On behalf of Moses Ingram. Yeah, I wondered about that. That's what I was wondering. Yeah, I'll walk into Home Depot. I've got to go to Home Depot for something today anyway, so while I'm there, I'll just ask. I'll take a piece of it and ask. Hopefully I won't lose that one too. I think I know what happened, because I had some of those screws in my pocket, my jacket pocket, while I was disassembling them. I just threw them in there. And then I stopped by Trader Joe's for a bottle of wine on the way home to celebrate. And, yeah, I got 2 Detoffs. This calls for wine. That's how I roll. Any excuse. And, but yeah, I'll just, I think that what happened was when I was paying for the wine, I had to reach into my pocket to grab my wallet, and I assumed that one of them just fell out at the cash register. Mr. Mom, IKEA will send replacement parts if you contact them. They did that for me when I'm missing little rubber pieces that the glass shelves sit on. Yes, I'm missing one of those as well. The little O-rings or whatever that the doors have to slide into to hold them in place. I'm missing one of those too. So I think they're plastic actually, now that I think about it. And who knows? They may even be in the car. I may not have. It may have fallen out in the car. I might have to like take out all the seats. Anyway. Sunny in Northern Virginia. All right. Well, guess what? You've got rain coming your way. Don't thank me. It's all right. It's really no trouble. Oh, no, I don't. I've never seen that before, but that doesn't mean me not seeing something has never been any indication, has never been a determining factor in whether or not it's there. So yeah, I'll go next time. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Thank you, everybody. The Royal Rumble, that's what it's called. Thank you, Mike. I still haven't started following any of it, but somehow, yeah. No, you weren't imagining it, bro. And it definitely showed up in your video. And I think that's probably, I would guess that's probably by design. It does really add to the look of them just getting out of the trash compactor or being in the trash compactor. So yeah, kind of cool. I like it. Hey, somebody used that awesome, yeah, emoji. Oh, dude, Luis, thank you very much, man. $5 super chat from Luis. Appreciate you in these Saturday morning posting streams. I'm so glad, dude. You know, these things, again, the Saturday Morning Toytoons concept kind of evolved. It started from me just having, for those of you who don't know, and several of you out there do, but apologize while the old man actually does another, yeah, tells a story over and over and over again. I'm going to just drop this really quick. But, one day I had ice on my knee because I'd hurt my knee, and I had, my hair was wet. I'd just gotten out of the shower. So I was waiting for my hair to dry with ice on my knee, and I had nothing to do, so I went live on Facebook just to see if anybody wanted to like chat. And more people tuned in than I thought, so I did that a couple more weeks, then I ported it over to YouTube, and that's why we're here now today, because it's becoming a thing. And I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad to hear that you are too. Thank you, Luis. Again, much like Michael, your enthusiasm is very much appreciated, man. You're a rare breed, and I really like people like you. So hope we get to meet in person someday. If Sideshow ever goes back to Comic-Con, maybe I'll be back in the neighborhood. Actually, I am gonna have to go out to California soon for a couple of different reasons. I just got a line on some Paradigm Studio 40 speakers. I used to have, with stands, I used to have Studio 40s back in the day, and they are amazing, amazing speakers. Ridiculously expensive, and they've held their value because they're so good. And there's somebody who has a pair of them with stands in Pasadena, but they won't ship. You have to pick them up. So I'm legitimately considering buying these things and then hopping a plane, putting them in a box and putting them on a plane with me and flying back. But while I'm out there, I'd probably stop by Sideshow, and I'd probably check on my property in Ventura and all that good stuff. But I don't know. Might be able to make time to hang out with some people if you're in the LA area and felt like traveling north of LA to like Ventura or Thousand Oaks or something like that to hang out. That'd be cool. Yeah, dude. Didn't know that. But maybe you said that in your video, your top 5 video this year. I can't remember. That I have not heard. That I have not heard. And you can't trust that knowledge unless it's coming from a reputable source, because there are a lot of people out there who like to proliferate fake news. Why, I have no idea. Shame on you. Yeah, some comments that she made in a panel discussion were taken out of context. Seriously taken out of context. If you go back and watch that whole thing instead of just the clip that the haters have been sharing online, then yeah, you'll get it. I mean, yeah, dude, it's an ugly, ugly thing. And if she got fired, then there's no real justice in that. But worth Googling. Lane Kramer, hey morning everyone. Wow, just woke up 10 minutes ago. Good for you, dude. Good for you. I've been up since like 5. You got Book of Boba Boba. Book of Boba Boba. Book of Boba Boba. I can't even say that 10 times really fast. Book of Boba Boba. Book of Boba Boba. Book of Boba Boba. Nope. Done. Yeah, I can get in 3. That's about it. But yeah, welcome, Lane. Good to have you here. Am I catching up? I'm almost there. And when I'm there, I should probably be transferring these files really quick. Actually, let me bring that back up again because that... No. So I'm going to move this over to files. Yeah, it's really a drag for me watching, especially considering that it's disproportionately females that this happens to. But it's really a drag to me when I see not only when I see some jackass take an old interview out of context and use it to flame somebody who's been brought on board to direct a Star Wars show, for instance. It's abominable, detestable, repugnant. Yeah, I will say that about the people who do such things. Just as a generalization. Nothing personal. You're just assholes. Alright, saving that there. And... oh, I can't use that one. That's mine. Oh, dear. You guys are watching live as I judge, as I pick the photos for, I think this one. Yeah, definitely this one. And I don't know who this one is. So I'll have to dig for that. God, that's a low quality image on my phone. My bad. Should I take a bite? Of course I should. All cheese, no blueberry. I'm fine with that. Oh, wow, look who's here, man. Been a while. Yeah. Good to have you back on board. Ideally, Hot Toys would implement some kind of rechargeable power source in the ligaments, and the stand would be the charging base. Yeah, I can't even imagine that's going to do anything but jack up the price. And the fact of the matter is that unless you're using a USB power source, something like that, or what you're talking about too. But no matter what the batteries are, you're not going to leave these things on interminably. Now, I've been doing I've been working with Apple Home in my house. Here, check this out. I'm just going to pause this really quick, just so it doesn't interfere a bit. And just so we can see everything. Deactivate live stream. I got a new toy. Power up live stream. Does that work? I don't even know if that works. Okay, that's not a word that I can use. I was experimenting. Activate live stream. And just like that, I'm ready to go. Oh, God, I love new toys. All right, where was I? Getting close to the end of the comments. Although it looks like we've had a lot of them flare up. Perhaps it's in response to something I said. Love the cap. Hope you're well. Only thanks, man. Only way for Iron Man is die cast. You know, now that that gate has been open years ago, then yeah, sure, why not continue with it? But many of the parts of the die cast Iron Man figures are made of plastic, especially the ones that require that crisp detail. So what they're doing is they're using, I don't know, like a triage system. Like, okay, what can we do here that's going to be die cast that will provide that heft, that will react well with paint, and what can we do that's, where can we sacrifice die cast elements in favor of plastic so that we can retain that that definition? And that's a fine system, and I hope that they stick with it. Nice empty upgrade, it doesn't improve its aesthetic, it just makes it feel more substantial and enhanced, which is meaningless. Just my point. Just in the joints, legs, I believe. Yeah, okay, that was kind of my memory of it. And again, it feels like in a situation like that, that's more to help with the balance. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just did it for aesthetic reasons. I don't know. Or to give it that heft. This feels like... This feels like the soundtrack for some sort of a military propaganda video, right? Yeah. I've wondered about that, Mike. Yeah, complain about it. Probably see how ubiquitous and generic AA and AAA batteries are compared to button cells, and just assume it's a cheap out. It is so not a cheap out. So not a cheap out. They last significantly longer for powering these things than any button cell battery could. And of course, the size of the button cell batteries, the bigger the button cell battery, the more power it's gonna store and generate, so it'll hold out longer over time. But you can't fit the big ones into an Iron Man head. You just can't. Between the electronics that have to go in there, and you're going to need to like be able to maneuver those electronics in there when they're being installed, and all the components that like the magnets and everything like that, everything just adds up, and it just becomes more difficult to put large batteries into a tiny little head. It's so simple that I'm just aghast that so many people, I don't want to say nobody, because there's obviously a lot of people in here that do get it, but there are just so many vocal people out there who don't get it. I'm like, you need to calm down. Because the only thing that you're doing is making yourself look foolish. That's it. That's it. Stop. Right? Hey, Bolts, welcome aboard. Hello from your biggest fan in Qatar. Also probably my only fan in Qatar. But yeah, welcome. You've been here before, Coke and Ice, so welcome back. I know I've seen your name before. But yeah, if I'm ever in Qatar, I'll look you up. And I'm not opposed to traveling to that area. I'm not at all. I think that would be really freaking cool to go to Qatar. I would love to go to Bahrain. I think that would be an amazing journey. New to my live stream, normally catch you in the rewind. Thank you, man. Thank you very, very much. We've never met in person, right? No? Crossing my fingers for the B1 Battle Droids from the Phantom Menace Anniversary. I think that's probably a no-brainer. They've already got the molds, basically. I don't think there were any significant changes between the Geonosis droids and the original infantry battle droids. I don't think so. But perhaps there are. Either way, I think that it's a no-brainer. I think that that's probably when we'll see those things released, as well as a They haven't released the STAP yet, so I would imagine we'll see a battle droid with a STAP and maybe dare I suggest a set? Yeah, an 9. Is it 9 or is it just OOM9? I used to think that the bounty hunter was called Forlom, but it turns out that it's 4LOM, which makes sense because 4LOM flows more like an actual name than Forlom does. Sounds more like a Star Wars name. Oh, yeah, dude. Why am I not talking about the trailer for The Bad Batch? I screamed. I watched it on this computer sitting in this chair with Dobby in there freaking out because he thought that I was dying or somebody was invading the house or something. But man, I mean, it's been long enough that if you haven't watched the trailer for The Bad Batch, I'd venture to say you don't care enough, or you're trying to avoid spoilers. So this is your warning. I'm going to go ahead and say it right here. You need to turn down your volume for like 5 seconds after I give the signal. And here's the signal. Asajj Ventress is back. You can come back. That blew my freaking mind. When I saw that, and not only when I saw that, but when I saw the color of the lightsaber. Actually, fuck it. It's been long enough. Let's just go ahead and spoil everything. Asajj Ventress with a Guardian Gold lightsaber? I'm dying to know the story behind that. I'm dying to know the story behind that. There's been some redemption that's gone on behind the scenes, and I'm really, really aching to find out what it is. Also, I feel like it opens the door for Asajj Ventress to show up in the Ahsoka show. She'd be a bit older. But given the fact that the Ahsoka show has reintroduced the Witches of Dathomir and brought them back to Dathomir, the door is open, and I know that Filoni loves Asajj Ventress. And I dearly hope that they retcon that novel. That was supposed to be, I believe the novel was supposed to be a series of episodes in the Clone Wars that were tossed into the rubbish bin when they canceled the show. And I would love to find out that they made that decision. Just like they changed Kanan's origins and Order 66 origin story from the comic book that came out post-Disney, so allegedly canon, but they retconned that without a second thought and retold the story in a different way for the Bad Batch. And so I'm comfortable with that. Books and comics are fun, but film trumps paper. Film trumps paper. It's rock, paper, scissors, or film. Not sure how that would work. Yeah, that would be awesome. And I think it's probably likely on a long enough timeline. I don't know that we'll see them soon, but it's probably likely. ATRT for the win. What's this? Busting out with a super chat. Thank you, OG fan. Must have all Boba Fett's. Boba Fett is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Thanks for all you do for the community. My go-to for inspirational posts. Thank you, man. That's very kind of you to say. I've been thinking a lot about that whole most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy shtick, and I have thoughts on it, but I want to develop them a little bit. The thoughts occurred while I was watching Book of Boba Fett, and while I was thinking about Boba's appearances in the Clone Wars, and yeah, it's interesting, and I'm wondering just how much of Boba's most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy was hype. Because I feel like Cad Bane is a lot deadlier. We'll never know. We'll never know. Thank you also to Lane Kramer for the $2 super chat. The Daimyo is now setting up in Smith Poserville. I like story time with Terry. Thank you. Again, I thank you for all three of you who so far have jumped out with super chats. You're funding new activities on the channel. You've helped me to buy something that you're going to see here in a few minutes when I fire up the 3 strike segment, which I should probably just go ahead and load in right now while I'm thinking about it. There we go. Will that work? I don't even know if this will work. But yeah, you're funding new things that I'm trying to add to the channel, and taking the heat off of me a little bit when I try to bring new things to the channel, and I'm also trying to pay the bills. So, in as much as I'm able to, I try to take those funds and mold them in a way that helps the channel and gives us more content, or gives you guys more content. So thank you for all that you guys do. Sideshow first look, looking for, I don't think that's right. There we go. Live streams, tracks, and there's a new version. There we go. I'm just gonna open this, and if it jumps right into it, oh.
3 poses enter, none of them leave. This is 3 strikes.
I guess we're jumping right into 3 strikes, guys. So there it is. Going back to that. Okay, so let's, I'm just glad that it happened accidentally right in between 2 songs. Apologies for that. I'm still trying to Still trying to figure out how to use StreamYard. I learned yesterday that I'm not the only one who has issues with StreamYard, which is kind of great to hear. Let's see. I'm going to find these images here that I chose. I'm going to turn this down because it's really freaking loud. And let's see. Image number 1 is right. Is this it? Yeah, there's 1, 2, and I hate it when you just save things to your desktop and it doesn't. You can't actually tell where they went. Yes, I'm basically owning up to the fact that my desktop is a cluttered mess. Both my physical desktop and my computer desktop. Oh, that's 1, but I saved the wrong one. But that's fine. We'll just go ahead and open all 3 of these. So, 3 strikes. 3 strikes, of course, is the weekly segment in which I showcase my 3 favorite poses that were struck by posers, by members of the Poser Posse on the Facebook page. So if you'd like to have your work displayed here on the Saturday morning live stream, then that's how you do it. You post photos of your favorite poses to the Poser Posse, and every week I'll be going through and picking out my favorite 3, and this is totally subjective. This is definitely no indication of your skills. It's just something that I looked at and went, wow, that's cool. So here, in no particular order, are my 3 favorites from this week. Boom. Look at that. I totally can't remember who it was that actually posted this, so I'm going to try to look him up on Facebook right now. Kind of embarrassing because I feel like I should recall that. Bringing up photos. Oh, these are my photos. I need to go to the Poser Posse. There we go. There we go. This is by... Oh, this is Mind's Eye. Yeah, this is by Mind's Eye. The guy from whom I snaked a couple of DTOFs this week. Isn't that great? And I believe that's the Hot Toys Miles Morales from the Across the Spider-Verse. Not Across the Spider-Verse, but Into the Spider-Verse. All right, so number 2, this one is by Figure Posing Channel. I love this. I love this so much. It seems so simple at first glance, but when you look closely enough at it, you recognize the differences, like the actual subtle details and the effort that went into just creating a story here. This is by Anthony's 6 Scale Posers, by the way, everybody, who's got a couple of the Jokers from Suicide Squad. Sat them in a couple of chairs in front of, like they're sitting in Batman's waiting room or something. And you can just see the one on the right is just listening and probably not having a good time, while the one on the left is just being Jokerish, telling some crazy story or just making some snarky remark. Maybe saying something about Harley. I don't know. You tell your own story here, man. This is very open to interpretation. But I love this a lot for its subtlety. And I would like to spread it out a little more, but this one was just way too cool. Anthony getting 2 of my favorite poses this week. So yeah, congratulations. I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but I just love this, that he took one of the accessories from the Mark 50 accessory set and applied it to the Mark 85, and then wrapped it all up in a tidy little bow that is a very excellent pose. And photographed it at a great angle as well, because you're able to, nothing's really lost to foreshortening here. You can legitimately see this as some pretty slick comic book cover art. I suppose you could have made that left leg a little bit more visible, but that's the only critique that I've got for that one. Looking really, really strong. So thank you so much. Speaking of thank you so much, I just looked up and I'm just blown away. Who's this? 30A Nerds hitting me with a... Yeah, can I just go ahead and bring that up? I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down and see if I can find it. Where is it? There we go. 30A Nerds. I'm going to jump ahead here. Hey, man, I hope you've all been well. Just wanted to say thanks for what you do and throw a little money towards your cause for the channel. Would love to see you post the deluxe Wonder Woman Golden Armor if you haven't. I have not, man. Thank you so much. That generosity is really overwhelming. I hope that I'm worthy of it. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, I don't know what to say there. And I think that this is not the first time you've been very generous to this channel, 30A Nerds. So I'm really greatly appreciative of that. Thank you so much. Would love to see you pose the deluxe Wonder Woman Golden Armor if you haven't. They didn't send me that one for the what do you call it? For the first look. They kept that one. And Guy did it with Michael, and it turned out great. It was a great first look. But and considering I don't buy DC figures, I can't see that one showing up here anytime soon. And I can see why you'd want to see somebody showcase what that figure's capable of, because my understanding is that there's not a whole lot that you can do with it. I don't know. I didn't pay that close of attention to it. What I do know is that it looks gorgeous. The paint apps on that gold armor and everything that comes with it are just on point. Of course, the head, they've really nailed that. If I ever, perhaps, when I head out to, when I head out to LA, ostensibly to buy a pair of speakers, maybe I could talk them into letting me do something while I'm at the office, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Also, there are things that I can't talk about right now that might actually generate an opportunity for me to do this. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. You may get your wish. Maybe I can use some of your kind donation here to bribe certain individuals and make that happen. Anyway, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Anyway, but thank you again, 30A nerds. That's great stuff. I have ideas. I have plans. So, and that's going to help see them to fruition. That's all that I'll say for now. Wow. Thank you. Windman's here. Hey, what's up, Windman? Her comments were from 5 to 6 years ago when she was working on a document. This is going back to that to the earlier comment about the woman who was hired to direct the Ray movie, and I'm guessing that we're getting to the part where maybe somebody will be either able to confirm or refute the rumor that she's been let go from the project. Because I really feel like that hype, the negativity died down pretty quick. At least I haven't seen any evidence in any of my outlets. But maybe that's because I live in a bubble. I don't know. But yeah, she was working on a documentary about abuse, and so when she made the comments that she likes to make men uncomfortable, she meant in that regarding spousal abuse and just domestic abuse in general, familial abuse, things like acid attacks, for instance. And that's, my brain's drawing a blank because that's what brains do when you're hosting a live stream, apparently, or when I host one. Let me know when you're around here. I may get to Camarillo's. My sis is there and visit. Okay, that could be fun. Yeah, you make trips to Thousand Oaks, or used to make trips to Thousand Oaks a lot. I used to bump into Tien at the sideshow every so often at the sideshow warehouse. Like a couple of times at least, right? Which says a lot because I wasn't frequently in the warehouse. So. Right? Yeah, man. Yeah. Darth Batman's here. That's okay, man. We forgive your lateness. Yeah, they do that. They do that. And I can think of fewer things that are more inherently dishonest than to make that effort to find a clip and take it out of context. And that's abhorrent enough. But when you willfully take that same clip that's been taken out of context and then propagate it without verifying it, do better. Do better. I hope my question isn't offside. What do you think about neck articulation choice seen with the last Andrew and Toby Spideys from No Way Home by Hot Toys? I'm trying to hack my Amazing Spidey's neck. I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that. I know what you're talking about. It's that interesting little clamp that goes into the neck as opposed to the traditional ball joint and whatnot. That's going to require some scrutiny on my part. I don't want to jump the gun on that and say something about it that A, I wind up regretting, or B, winds up just being way off base. So I'd actually legitimately, and I do have reason to take Toby out of the box again this week. So so while I do that, if that's the path I go down, while I do that, I'll take a closer look at it. I would imagine that it has something to do with the nature of the way the costume is wrapped onto the figure and clamped onto the figure. They were trying to avoid a situation which would cause that seal to loosen and for the fabric to pull away from the body. That's just at a guess, and that's without having the figure in front of me, and that's basing on my admittedly unreliable memory. So that, yeah, again, that's just a guess. I don't know how you'd be able to hack it. I think it worked better with Toby than it did with Andrew. I know that I had fewer issues while working with Toby's head than with Andrew's head. That being said, I feel like it's unfair for me to say that it's not a deal breaker for me, because I parted ways. I had originally ordered the entirety of that final battle. Every figure that took place in that final battle, I ordered all of them. And then I canceled all of them because where am I going to put them? Except in my 2 new DTOFs. Hey, Mind's Eye. I love you, man. Thank you for being a good sport about that. One of the strands over here is broken off my Fennec out of box. Any suggestion for what type of glue I should use to stick it back? That's a tough one, bro. That's a tough one. And I'm going to look at my Fennec here really quick. Okay. I'm guessing that it broke off at the root, right? So I'm going to try to describe this to you without having any actual visual aids. And taking it out of the DTOF over here would be time consuming. So I'm not going to put everybody through that delay. But here's my thought on it. If it broke off at the root, first of all, I want to say that hair is probably keyed into the head. So if the key just came out of the keyhole, then it's a simple matter of just taking a tiny dab. Just get yourself some of this and some of this and Jedi reflexes, and just take a dab of the super glue and put it onto a post-it note, and that'll create a little reservoir of glue for you. And then get yourself like a toothpick and then dab that toothpick into the glue dot that you just created on your post-it note and tap that into that keyhole, and then slide the hair back in, the hair key back into that keyhole. Now, if it actually broke and the key is still in the keyhole and the hair broke off at the keyhole, that's going to create a whole new can of worms. The best solution I can think of for that would be for you to find a way, get yourself a pin vise. Just look it up. Get yourself a pin vise. I don't have mine here. It's in the studio, the other studio. And you'd have to core out, just take the smallest drill bit you can find, put that in the pin vise, and then manually like drill into that keyhole to create just a tiny little, you don't have to go too deep, just a tiny little indentation in the head. And then do the same thing I just mentioned with the glue and insert that hair strand into the hole that you've created. And that should fix the issue. It's going to take a lot of thought. You're going to have to go through all those steps in your mind before you actually commit to the process. But that's the only way that I can think of to fix something like that. That's something that's that delicate. But once it's fixed, it should stay in place. Redeemer23 Collectibles is here. What's up, dude? Am I everybody's favorite poser? I don't think I'm everybody's favorite poser. And I'm comfortable with that. Yeah, I don't even remember what Bree said. Thank you, by the way, Redeemer, for the kind words. Bitter Troll's finally here. Dude, you've been on fire on Facebook. You're cracking my ass up. Love the weekly posing, which is overdue right now. Is what you do for a living provide a decent living? Decent. For where I live. If I was making... without getting into too much detail, I don't know that I could live the life that I definitely couldn't live the life that I live here, living in California. Just the cost of living there is just prohibitive. But here, living in the Midwest, it's a lot easier to have disposable income and do things like buy expensive action figures with batteries that provide a ridiculously long life. Look at it. It hasn't faded at all. It's been an hour now, plus an hour that I had these batteries in the figure for the video shoot. But anyway, moving right along. Yeah, it's tight. Not gonna lie. But money's tight because I'm a Hot Toys collector. Period. Period. Good morning, Terry and chat. Great show with Miguel and Daniel Bell last night. Yeah, it was right. I mean, and Miguel was sick, dudes. I mean, he was really, really sick last night. We chatted very briefly afterwards via Messenger, and yeah, he felt like hell. He felt like hell during that whole show, but he held it together like a pro. Really impressed. I'm surprised. He said he was going to be in the chats today, but again, he's so sick. I'm not surprised that he didn't join us. Is that the same song? Do you comment on that every week? I feel like you comment on that every week. It's about as regular as you ripping on Apple. Oh yeah, that's never gonna happen, bro. Never gonna happen. Especially at that scale. Possibly a quarter scale, but again, where are you gonna put the light? No, that can't happen. Chris Kaz is here. What's up, Chris? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Moving right along. The diecast in Iron Man really helps us for those staying in hot countries. Okay, you can see the paint discolors and the... Oh, is that right? And especially with the humidity. I think the humidity more than the heat, right? Could be wrong on that. It might just be the heat. Huh. Yeah, especially also with the earlier Iron Man figures, even where I lived, which at the time I was in St. Louis when the earlier Iron Man figures came out, but even I had that discoloration on the pelvic parts for Iron Man. It's I think that was down to materials more than anything else. I could be wrong, but yeah, that just feels like a material thing. Yeah, 30A nerds, thank you again. Aaron S is here. Aaron Sorkin. No, it's not true. Blurred dad life. All is pretty well, dude. All is pretty well. I'm anxiously waiting for my LCS to get the Batman. Feels like it's taking forever. Oh, man, that's such a great figure. That's such a great figure. Collecting is made of regrets, my friends, and part of me really regrets not getting that. I decided a while ago to forego getting the new Batman stuff in lieu of the Christopher Nolan Batman stuff, which I have I've got Batpod, Batman, and Tumblr now. And I kind of regret that, because as much as the Tumblr and the Batpod and the Nolan films are great, they're so good, such great design. But going back recently and watching The Dark Knight again, I find that my fondness for it has faded a little bit. My appreciation for it has faded a little bit, and I think I've been really roped into the world of the Batman, Pattinson, so to speak. And I love that bike, and I love that Batmobile that we'll probably never see in 6 scale, which is fine, because where would I put it? Gonna have to build a bar in the basement and use it as a decoration. The tumbler is gonna be used as a decoration on the bar in the basement. I love it on my Sentinel fighting armor figures and Heat Boys team. Yeah, see, that's another thing too, is that when I'm referencing diecast, I'm only talking about Hot Toys. I have no familiarity with the use of diecast in any other realm, just Hot Toy stuff. And a lot of my understanding of it comes from conversations with the guys in development and production at Sideshow when I worked there full time. So when I speak about diecast, I'm not relaying my own expertise. I'm relaying the expertise of others that was imparted upon me. For love of money, is that a fact? Because you're John Galgano and you know more about Star Wars than I do, and so I believe you when you say things like that. And it makes sense, because he is a bounty hunter, even if he's a mechanical. Oh, dude, so good, so good. I feel most complainers are so quick to think about every company's decision is made to screw them over. No, dude, sometimes it's not about you. It's just a better product choice. Thank you. That's very, very, very accurate. Yeah, it's more often than not, it's a knee-jerk reaction to something that they find inconveniences them. And I get it. Except that usually that's not something that I do. I don't think I do it at all, but I could be wrong. Feel free to call me out on my shit. If you're aware of a situation in which I did do that, then remind me. Yeah, the only way that Ventress could return at this point... Wait, hold on. Yeah, the only way Ventress could return at this point is if A, it's before the events in the book, and I don't think that it is. Yeah, because Dooku... Yeah, never mind. So, yeah, she's back. So A is scrapped, so we're left with B. They're retconning the novel. And again, I'm fine with that. The novel was fine, but I'm not married to it. Oh, shit. Sorry, man. Sorry. Perhaps cumulatively. I think it's a no-brainer. But I could be wrong. I mean, Ahsoka's still in stock, Darth Maul is still in stock. They might pump the brakes on more Clone Wars figures. But maybe not. Hey, Chevelle, what's going on? Good to see you. All is well, thank you. I got that reference, and I never watched a single episode of that show. Although, again, I do have a prop from that show in my house. A Rogue premium format figure that was loaned out to the production of the show for a scene in the comic book shop. And also one of the only Rogue premium format figures of that generation with perfect eyes on both heads. Yeah. Great, we have something new to add, Rob. The blade color is different, but the hilt is still the curved one. Same or new one with the same design? If yes, how did she get it back? I don't know, man. Maybe she, It's not like the Sith have... What's his name? The droid, the lightsaber droid. It's on the tip of my tongue. No need to comment, it'll come to me. So, it's... Yeah, they've... When she fashioned those hilts, she sourced the materials from somewhere. So it would be very easy to go back and resource those materials, I would think. So that's not a deal breaker for me. Because when last she had them, they were stolen by Barriss Offee, right? And then they literally fell into the hands of Anakin Skywalker. And he didn't give them back. So yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing she just remade them. My God, so many comments. I'm never going to get this figure post. It's a big galaxy, bro. It's a big galaxy. It's not like they're all hanging out in the same village. Is Calvin here? Oh, Calvin, you're low-key collector? I knew that. I'm such a damn dunce. Welcome. Perhaps. Yeah, in the current batch of Marvel stuff, yeah. I never did finish War of the Bounty Hunters, and I should. It's hit or miss. The War of the Bounty Hunter. You've got multiple creative teams working on something, working on the same project, and some of those creative teams really hit it out of the park, and others. I don't want to be so unkind as to say we're lackluster, but it didn't connect with me. Yeah, not all comic book teams are created equal. I mean, they're achieving what they want to achieve, and I get that and I respect that. But sometimes their results don't resonate with me, I guess, for lack of a better term. Which it's entirely possible that I'm evolving beyond comics, or maybe comics have evolved beyond me. Because I'm finding that I have no interest in current comic books other than Daredevil. But Zdarsky just wrapped up his run, so maybe not even that anymore. Yeah, I don't know where I stand with comics. But I do know that I'm not buying them anymore. I think to really find stuff that I like in comics, I'd have to go outside of the big two. No more superhero stuff for me. Just more character-driven, down-to-earth sort of fare, so to speak. I'm just trying to scroll through here. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Dude. Wow. There's a motivating factor in me, like, when that happens. I'm just like, okay. I mean, a lot of people would say that it's humbling. I don't know that that's the right word for it. I think that it's more, when somebody drops a donation like that, then it creates a sense of responsibility to earn it. You know what I'm saying? Be worthy of it. And that's it. So yeah, much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, it's too bad that it looks like, by all indications, it looks like Anthony ducked out of the comments because he didn't want Bad Batch spoiled for him. And then he missed his photos being featured. Oh well. Sorry, Anthony. Is that what they? Oh yeah. No, that's exactly the point. Yeah, I know. We keep coming back to this, but it's worth repeating. And it bears revisiting because it's again abominable. That people have such a need, that there are people out there who have such a need for their content to not be helmed by a woman, that they would do whatever they could to damage that. I mean, that's weak. That's really freaking weak. And that's the only word that I almost said that that's the only word that I have for those people, but I've actually thrown out a few other choice ones as well. And there's probably, I don't expect that this will go that far because I have a pretty modest following, relatively speaking, on this channel, and especially on this live stream. And I know that there could very well be somebody out there who would be like, man, you're doing no favors to your followers. I'm going to unfollow you now because you said that. Okay. I'm fine. I'm so comfortable with that. I don't need that in my life. I can't tolerate rudeness. I can't tolerate bastards. There was an example in, I don't know if it was in the Poser Posse or on my personal Facebook account, of some dude that misinterpreted something that I said and just flew off the handle at me. And I'm like, bye. That's it. I mean, especially on my personal Facebook account. I mean, if we've never met and you're on my personal Facebook account, I've probably vetted you. Probably. In this case, I didn't. He was just a friend of a friend. So I let him in. And never heard from him on anything. And then one day he just flew off the handle at me. And I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it. It's like coming to a person's house for a party or whatever. And then right away, when something happens that triggers you, you just start being a prick. And in that instance, I would do the same thing. I would escort you right the hell out. You know, you don't get to show up at my place and behave badly. Or insult me. Whatever. You gotta go. That's wise. That is some wise shit right there. Wisdom. Drop in the wisdom, Keith Lee. That's unusual. Love you, man. Yeah, I actually, that's how I interpret it. So, yeah. Trying to scroll through these really, really quickly, so I'm sure I'm gonna miss something. Are you not do you not pay for YouTube? Are you not on YouTube Pro? Maybe I clicked, maybe I might have set something wrong in the settings. I'll check it when it's done, because I don't want that happening. But I'm pretty sure that if you correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're on YouTube Pro, you should not be seeing ads at all. So, yeah. I have no idea what you mean. Please. Oh yeah, so many. Whether or not I'll get them remains to be seen. Savick. I would love to have the entire Wrath of Khan line. But that's about the end of it. As much as good as these figures are, I don't have the space. Star Wars is my jam. I'm focused on that, and I intend to remain focused on Star Wars and occasionally Iron Man. In fact, my Iron Man purchases now will only be limited to improved reissues of the first 7. Because eventually someday I hope to have a wall of armor. Hall of armor, whatever. Chunker? Read Berserk. Are you talking about the one by, or no, that's Berserker, the one by Keanu Reeves. That looks like Keanu. I've heard a lot of good things about Berserk. And it will probably find its way onto my radar. I did not, TK, grab tickets for the Tenet re-release, but I did go see Dune Part 1, Dune Chapter 1 on IMAX this week. So worth the wait! Yeah, seeing Bryce Dallas Howard play a character, I would welcome that in a heartbeat. So many of the directors of Mandalorian have had bit parts, cameos, what have you. I don't know. Maybe it's just a conscious decision. I can't imagine that she wouldn't have been offered that opportunity, and if so, obviously she's turned it down. And yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard is a remarkable director. But what's her name? Who was picked for Rey? She's got a story to tell. And it'll be interesting to see how, because every director is going to make their own personal experience part of the process, part of the project. And I'm really interested in seeing what she does with it. So again, I hope that this is just a rumor. It's just toxic fanboys spanking it, that kind of thing. But we'll see. Oh, dude, yeah, I actually just gave that a rewatch recently. Still holds up. Still holds up. I watched it like, I don't know, October, November, something like that. Yeah, periodically I give that thing a rewatch, and dude, it's so good. Yeah, I don't know. That must have been what happened. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, how did that guy get in there? I'm glad you're there, though. You make me laugh. That's going on a t-shirt. Bastards need not apply. Oh yeah, that's something I do regret. But the last Saga book that I read, I think was like issue 20 or 21, and then I just started collecting them because I just wanted to binge them. And then I stopped collecting, so I guess that's never going to happen now. Still rolling, still scrolling. Oh yeah, good. Welcome, man. You mean this super battle droid that's with the light up feature that's been burning solidly for 2.5 hours now? That's why AAA's, man. That's why. Ooh, yeah. Really? I don't really hang out with any, but that would be fun. Yeah. Yeah, I've had that thought too. Oh, good. We got a new member. Dude, thank you. Thank you for joining the channel. That's, yeah. I think we're up to like 22 now, 23. Unless we've lost some. There's one guy who like joins and then cancels, then joins, then cancels. It's that's not a judgment. I get that. I've done that with channels before too. But apart from that, it stayed pretty solid. All right, guys. It is 10:32. I'm behind schedule by 30 minutes. Let's hope that doesn't mean that the live stream is going to go on for a full 2.5 hours because I mean, I was just going to say I have shit to do, and I do, but it's really not all that important. It's just catching up on things. Anyway, welcome to the collection Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. I can probably say that 10 times really fast. Okay. I actually said in the description of the video that there would be like an unboxing type of segment for this, so let's go ahead and do that. 38 nerds. What did I do? I don't know what I did to deserve that, bro, but thank you. I hope I don't find out later that you went bankrupt. Oh yeah, you're back. Hey man, how you feeling? That was a good time last night, and you were a consummate professional for somebody who's feeling as badly as you do. So yeah, thank you for that opportunity. It was a really good time, and I have to ask permission from work before I appear on other channels, and there's a process and everything, but there was no hesitation. Toy Quest 101 is such a highly regarded YouTube channel, just universally. I can't think of anybody that does not appreciate them. And but when I made the request, there was no hesitation. Immediately got a reply, yes, absolutely, go, have fun. So if that says anything, and I'm sure everybody here is following them. All right, so here it is. Here it is, the Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna have so much fun saying that. The Book of Boba Fett, have to slow down, obviously it has the signature cigar band in the colors that we know represent the Book of Boba Fett line of figures from Hot Toys. Pretty slim line, actually. They didn't release a lot of figures from that. But we got some great photography of the figure on the box. Just casual presence. Casual presence. Which kind of describes the gift-giving scenario between me and my ex-wife. And then this kind of cool one over here. Where I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's aiming his rocket. Yeah, his rangefinder is down, so that must be... Excuse me, I'm awfully burpy today. Apologies for that. And, of course, the legalese, whodunits, and whatnots on the back. Let's go ahead and pop this box off. I love that track so much that I'm going to play it again. I want to say that's the track that Mario always has playing on his live streams. If I'm not mistaken. I know that it's something from Epidemic Sound. Here we go. Yeah. Cameo. Love that. Love that. Also love the appearance of Slave One in the background. No, I refuse to call it Boba Fett Starship. And until Disney hits me with a cease and desist, I'm going to keep calling it Slave One. Which I don't expect them to do. I don't think they're that bent out of shape about it. But all right. Okay. Yep, just like I remember it. Let me just go ahead and... Boxes everywhere. I am not a tidy man. Okay. Thank you, Sideshow, for bringing this table into my life. And for not being mad at me for using it for personal stuff. So there it is. As you get it out of the box. You can see, kind of, glare notwithstanding, that you've got a flame effect, you've got a couple of jetpack effects, a series of 6 swap-out hands, and... Oh, that's the little clamp. There's a little clamp in there for hanging the gaffy stick, Goodurfy stick, whatever you want to call it. Goodurfy gaffy stick on his jetpack. My backpack's got jets. I'm Boba the Fett. I bounty hut for Jabba Hut to finance my bet. That's as close as I will get to singing MC Chris stuff. My friend Job from high school lives out in Studio City, and apparently his kid goes to the same school as MC Chris's kid, so he's actually bumped into him at school events. I would totally fanboy out, man, because that guy's stuff cracks me up. God, tape, man. Tape is a challenge. So this is kind of how I do this with these trays at the top, and I'll do it this way even for the first looks. But I'll undo the tape on one side. They have these little circles of tape that they use to hold these things closed and down to the tray, and then I'll lift off this bit and just drag the tray out, and then immediately pop it back down and reseal it, just so it doesn't go anywhere and so I don't have to hunt it down later. So let's go ahead. Oh, I didn't even, yeah, I forgot to identify one more piece. But you can also see in there that there is a grappling hook, which is kind of essential for, you know, Mandalorians. And apparently, Clone Force 99 members. But that's something I noticed in Season 2 of Bad Batch is that, and spoiler alert, don't panic and run away. But Season 2 of Bad Batch, the Tech is really a master of using that grappling hook. All right, let's see if this. Let's see if I can show you guys this without everything falling down. Helps that the camera's kind of angled downward. So yeah, got the jetpack with rocket separately, so that you can display it, I guess, either fired or not fired. There's no launching effect, which is not lamentable. I'm fine with that. The figures obviously featuring the new black outfit underneath, and this is my favorite look for Boba Fett, guys. I know that there will be people out there who consider it to be sacrilege to say that the Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian version of Boba Fett are their favorites, but from a design perspective, artistically, aesthetically, it's just way more pleasing than the 80s version to me. I'm gonna rotate that a little bit better. But you can see he's got, oh, there it goes. Thankfully, none of it landed in the tart. Where was I going with this? Yeah, there's the EE3 blaster rifle, which I've gotta say, it feels like it's a little on the big side. Once we get that out with the figure, maybe everybody else can chime in on that. But that's about the only thing that even gives me pause. Blaster pistol. I don't even know if that's a Sacros something, right? I believe that's a Sacros blaster pistol. I could be wrong. It might be an early version of the one that Bo-Katan uses. And of course, this awesome Goodurfy stick. Goodurfy gaffy stick. Look at that. I just love the montage where he's assembling it and kind of combining that with his Tree of Woe experience. The homages. Seriously, y'all, the homages. And let's get a closer look at the jetpack. Right out of the gate, we can tell that this is going to be posable, which is cool. Repainted jetpack, all looking good. Very, very minimal weathering on it. Oh gosh, those always make me nervous. But it'll be a better system than the one we showcased last week, right? Which, while screen accurate, was also a pain in the butt. Okay, there's the rocket. I know the Sideshow versions had these things would come out, and they don't with this. Buy plastic. Oh, popped right off, the plastic did. For this segment of the show, I'm just going to talk like Yoda. Talk like Yoda, I will. And look at that. I hope that's a new thing. I do. I hope that that's a new thing. Let's pull the blaster pistol out. I just want to make sure I get all these elements out. God, please, nothing fall into my blueberry cheese tart. Now, what I don't recall is whether or not this thing comes with a flight stand, and it does. Oh, that gives me joy. I honestly couldn't remember if there was a flight stand or if it was... I was going this whole time thinking that it was just going to be a standard groin grabber support. Scheisse. Something fell, and it's the screw for the groin grabber support. And it went into the black hole. There's a black hole under my... No, not really. Oh boy, okay. I can hear sliding around in there. Yeah. Okay, take that. Throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. I think what happened is the screw came loose. There it is. I found the nut. There you go, Keithley. Set you up. All right, so I'm gonna have to drop down here and find that bolt. Clumsy Terry is clumsy. I was really hoping this posing segment wouldn't take too terribly long, but forces are conspiring against me. Let's see if we've got any really cool comments. I'm sure we do. Kumar had to go. Not surprised. It's late there. OG fan. Dude, yeah, that's the truth, right? I mean... Thank you. Good stuff, good stuff. Try to see if there's also anybody here that I haven't showcased yet. Oh, sorry, man. Is that accurate? I don't know that that's right, but what the hell do I know? Almost nothing. So I'm going to skip this slow track and give you guys something more upbeat while I go down and try to figure out what happened to that nut. There it is. The battery cover for the Super Battle Droid fell down there as well. Fortunately, I was able to retrieve that. Speaking of Super Battle Droid, how's he doing? I don't think it's diminished at all. Yeah. Let's try it this way. Yeah, you kind of lose it when the light catches that when the highlight catches that part of the armor, so you kind of have to turn it to the side, which kind of diminishes the focus a little bit, but that's okay. I will forgive. So what I need is the frickin' stand. This in a good spot? Yeah. Let's go ahead and hide this. Dude, speaking of that, I think I have a ghost. Hear me out. I found out 2 years after moving into this house that the previous occupant died in the bathroom. Yeah. Creepy, right? And not only that she died, but she went undiscovered for some time. I knew something was up because I found out, because after I went into the basement after buying the house, I noticed that all the flooring and beneath the bathroom had been replaced. And I just assumed that there was a broken pipe issue or something like that. But no, there was human soup that had leaked into the wood. Yummy. And yeah, she'd been... So, okay, that's... The details of that are not important to the story. What is important to the story is that for the past few months, this didn't start right away when I moved in, but it's been going on for a few months now. I'll randomly go into the bathroom and the toilet paper roll will be completely unrolled. Yeah. That's weird, right? No explanation for it. No explanation for it. I mean, you would think that if it was happening because of something I did, I would notice that it was happening. But no, I'll go to bed, toilet paper's in place. After I get out of the shower, I go to bed, toilet paper's right where it's supposed to be. Come back in the next morning and it's all unrolled. I await your arguments. Your suggestions as to what could be causing this. That actually makes more sense than ghosts. Ah, there it is. Oh, dude, if I could listen to stuff like this, I'd listen to it all day. All right. Everybody's favorite bass. God. You know, at some point, it seems to me, and I get that, that although this feels bigger, the feet feel bigger on this, I kind of feel like, yeah, like do Boba's feet actually fit in that? No, they don't, but I kind of get the complaints, but at some point, are you ever gonna just accept it and stop complaining about it? Because it's clearly not going to be changed. They've tried a couple of alternatives and they keep coming back to this. And okay, I'm fine with it. I've been collecting these things long enough where it's just like I'm unfazed by it when one comes in. I only bring it up now because it was recently in the comments of, was it the Super Battle Droid video? I think it was the Super Battle Droid video. And I'm like, let it go, let it go. Okay, I've got a issue here. The cap came off, so I'm going to not fix it. Instead, I'm just going to roll with it and fix it later. Because again, this live stream is already taking way too long. Phallic. Flight pose, right? Thinking flight pose. If you can, you should. It's like Dobby's pooping philosophy. If you can poop, you should. That dude will just squat at any opportunity. It's like, I can't believe I just had to waste a poop bag on that little nugget, Dobby. TMI? Don't care. Dog owners get me. That's all that matters. Okay. Ooh, snug. I like it snug. Okay. I think that's where I want it. All right, so there's that scene in the Book of Boba Fett, final episode, when the battle commences. When what's his name, the Twi'lek guy, the major domo of the mayor, does his funny stuff, and then all of a sudden we've got Mando and Boba flying around on jetpacks, tearing shit up, and I'm here for that today. I am here for that today. I see that Bitter Troll is doing his usual suggestion. Let's see what it is here. Flight pose with blaster, range sensor down, and ready to shoot his backpack missile. God, you know what would be awesome is if they had the firing knee whistling birds, which I think are only available as an option for the original one, the 2-pack or the solo pack version of that Boba Fett. All right, so let me pause for station identification here and figure out what I need. Did you say both blasters? No, just the one. So I think we're going with this. One of the hands is for the E11. I'm sorry, the EE33. EE3. I always screw that one up. I think this is the one for the blaster pistol, right? Yeah. That's for the pistol. We don't want that one. We want this one. And as always with the EE3, it's prudent to add the hand to the blaster before putting the blaster onto the figure, because it's a pain in the butt, because it has that enclosed element right there that you have to put the thumb through. And these are stiff hands. So I'm just going to try a trick here. Yeah, that worked. Oh, that was so easy. What I did was I just moved the fingers out of the way, and then I slid it through this thinner portion of it, and then just right down here there's a thinner portion to the guard, and so I slid it in there and then just slid the hand up, like there to that, and then just slid it all the way up onto the grip. So, do I want to go two-handed? I think I do, if it will. And I need a gun cradling hand. Is this the one I want? Could be. Oh, this is the hand for firing the flamethrower. Oh! Let's do that! Right? Flamethrower, definitely. Flamethrower all day. Okay. I may have to look at the instructions. I can't remember if his flamethrower goes on the right or the left. I think it goes on the left, though. This song reminds me of... what's his name? Cam something or other. Cam Cole? He's that busker that appeared in the first season of Ted Lasso that Ted pulled off of the street when they needed a performer for the children's charity. And if you haven't followed him, he's worth checking out. He just released another album last year that, had I known about it last year, might have made it onto my top 3 of 2023 when I did that little bit, which is so in vogue in the new year. But yeah, man. Just double check to make sure I got that right, but... yeah, Cam Cole. Check him out, everybody. Bluesy, dirty guitar. And his first couple albums, he's a one-man act. Like, legitimately does the drums himself. The guitar from his busking days. Yeah, cool. Flamethrower comes out. Yeah, I thought that was the flamethrower right there. And I was right. And people are going to be like, you didn't know that? No. No, I honestly didn't. How tall do we want this thing to go? I think I can slide this up just a touch. There we go. Swapping the hands. That's going to be up there. Let's get this hand out. Replace it with the flamethrower hand. It's interesting that he has his hand is so unique. There we go. His method of his means of holding his hand while using his flamethrower is so unique that they felt compelled to create a special hand for it. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I got that wrist peg in the right place, and it's almost there. Just gonna give it a bit of a tweak. And pop that in. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to this. I don't think I did this in the first look. Anyway, so this leg's gonna be out like to here. Gonna pop that down. Just like so. twist the hell out of that torso if it will, and it will. Bitchin'. And get this out. Raise it up here. Rotate. Let's bend this just so I have it in the proper place. Alignment. And then we want to get that head down. Just see what I did there. I just kind of, the head was up here, but I want to really crane that neck out so that I can get his head down into a real game face. So that's good. Time to implement the jetpack. And again, this is just the roughed out version of the pose. 3-point attachments. Oh, and magnets. Wild. I need light. Okay, that slides down, and then that finds, okay, 3 keyholes and magnets. This thing's not going anywhere. Until it does. Oh, and then there's the, gonna have to find a home for the Godurfa stick. There's a lot of elements that need to be added to this figure for this pose, which I love. When you're given all these accessories, it's kind of incumbent upon you to actually put them to good use, I think. It's so cool. I was originally going to have him kind of spreading his legs a little bit because they do that a lot, and I may go back to that, but I think that for the purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Why is Bitter Troll's comment still up there? I love you, man, but... Okay, and then we're also going to crunch, give him a crunch. In addition to the twist, we're going to crunch his torso to the front. And I may swap these legs out later, I don't know. Because that kind of looks like he's running, not like he's flying. We're going to work on those legs. All right. Now, I kind of like to add the... Yeah, that's going to need to go up higher again. It's just such a tall figure. I kind of like to add the flight effects after. Now, see how I'm doing this here? Lean that stand forward and then bend it back. Gradually. Rotate that position a little bit. I'm not liking this so far. There we go. Oh, you know what would be fun? Rotate it this way. No, that's not fun. This is more fun. Get that leg out front some more. Point that toe. Came off the freaking stand. The last thing we do is going to be the flame effect, and then we'll tweak it. Tweaks, not twerks. Spin this a little bit, and then rotate to compensate, and hope it doesn't fall. Let's go and get these guys in here while I'm thinking about it. Uno, dos. And no wires in that thing, but then we don't need it. Okay. So that's there. This goes here. I want to sit. Ooh. That's no bueno. There we go. Check the balance, Daniel-san. So how does this go on? It's got to slide in somewhere. Is it a magnet? If only I had instructions. Where do they freaking go? There they are. Okay. It goes down. Oh! Goes behind the armor. That's right. Oh, yeah, it's Velcro. I'm so silly. And I Okay. Let's tweak this pose. Alright. Want that coming down. Instead of having it go off to the straight up front, I'm going to bring it more up to the side. I don't like the position of that gun way up high like that. Uh-oh. Lost the hand. Any minute now, this is going to just collapse. There it is. There it is. Okay. And let's go ahead and slide these legs over like this. Rotate and twist. Moving his head up a little bit too much. I know. Dead air, guys, right? I'm sorry. And yes, Paul, I am aware that there are wrinkles. It's okay when I do it. Oh, God. Okay, let's get that flamethrower on there. Flame effect. Is there a... Okay, wait. I think that there's something I have to remove first. I'm having a memory. There is! Let's hear it from memory, man. This little piece right here that I'm going to remove and then immediately lose. Okay. Little tiny element at the forefront that comes off and enables you to... They like to tell you to take the hand off for this part, but I'm going to be all daredevilish. Whoop! Fuck. I was worried about the figure falling. I should have been worried about myself. Alright. So let's go ahead and raise this arm up just a little more. It's more of a rotation than a lift. And then I'm going to raise this arm up just a touch, like so. Kind of keeping the blaster forward. I mean, the inclination is to like actually have the blaster pointed backwards, but no, I'm not doing that. And I forgot one bit of dressing, which is to put his is that a magnet? Please say it's a magnet. It is a magnet. Thank God. To put that blaster in there, which is a challenge, as it turns out, because there's a little nurney on the side that doesn't want to clear. Tweezers are your friends. That doesn't want to clear the holsters, so you have to pull a holster out while you're sliding it in. And I've really done myself an injury by waiting until the end to do this, because that come on, get in there, get in there. Jesus Christ. Did that make it? It did! Cool. Get it in there as far as it'll go, which is supposed to be almost there. There we go, all the way in. And then drop that thing back into place. Voila! Alright, let me stand back and look at this. I'm trying to get it lower to the ground. I do like that he's elevated more, when he's elevated more, but I'm also trying to think about Detov. And I think that the this guy is going to create an issue there. I don't know if this will go in a Detov like this, so I'm going to keep messing with it, lowering it, and hopefully I'll get to a point where I can create balance, and I think I've got it here. Almost. And again, I don't want him firing straight. I want to give the impression that he's firing down towards somebody that he's simultaneously trying to get away from. So we're going to drop that down and then see if we can't get this head to do what I want it to do. Do what you're told, Fathead. I feel like Fathead needs to be on a t-shirt too. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit by turning the helmet. And I think that's got it. I think that's got it, everyone. How do we like that? How does that look? It's hard, again, from... This is the viewing angle, right here. So it's hard for me to get the impression, to give you the impression of what it looks like without actually taking it off the stand and angling it straight towards the camera the way that I'm seeing it, which is like this. And again, as with all the poses that I strike on this show or any other show, I reserve the right to tweak it after the camera stops rolling. And I will. I will, because this is Boba Fett, and I love him. I do. I do love Boba Fett. So let's see some reactions. That pose looks dope! That's it. That's the only reaction I need to see. Thank you, Darth Batman. Ro says it looks awesome. Thank you, Ro. Jen says nice. Yeah, it's hard not to, and it is a significant rabbit hole. Says the guy who just publicly proclaimed that he has all of them. I love this version of Boba Fett. I said it earlier on in the stream, but I love, this is like the culmination of the evolution of Boba Fett throughout the years, for me. I don't think he's ever looked better than he looks here. I know that a lot of people, again, will decry that and say, oh my God, that's blasphemy. And I get it, I get it. Their passion for the original trilogy is very, very strong. And I respect that. But aesthetically, it's hard to deny how much slicker all the different colors of Boba Fett's armor look on a black undersuit. Especially one that's far more aesthetically pleasing in terms of texture and details. These little folds right here that happen just above the knees. I just love it, and the fact that he's got like a comma going on here instead of having his cape, he's got a little awesome fabric comma covering up. There's a much more regal look to it, as befits the daimyo of Tatooine. Everything about it is just on point. The minimal weathering on the helmet and the armor also just adds to that as well. He doesn't look nearly so beat up. Or it's almost like in his advancing years, he's come to respect his appearance a little bit more. He's taken greater care, not just of himself, but of all the tools of his trade. And I can appreciate that. It's so necessary, no matter what your trade, to just keep up. What's this? There's a little plastic something, a little nurney, that may have broken off of... I bet it broke off of the pistol. Alright, so I'm going to put that in this little tray here. And maybe have to fix that later. Or just call Sideshow and ask for a replacement pistol. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I think that there are some refinements, again, that I could be doing with it. And again, I will. The table was a little bit lopsided, which is perhaps affecting my opinion of my work here. Just checking the balance. Yeah, it's pretty sturdy. And the bracket isn't pressing on anything that could be damaged by it over time. I think that that's also crucial. Yeah, this needs to come down a touch, I think. No, it's fine. If it will come down, I'll take it down. I'm going to take you down, bracket. There we go. That might give me enough clearance to fit in a Detolf. I'll find out later. Off camera. Got to kind of rotate these knee armor elements just to give them the devils in the details. And so are so many other good things. You can't steal what's freely given. Take it. Man, I found the default without taking off the gaffy stick. Yeah, I'm prepared for that. And again, I also am prepared to have to lower him down a little bit, because he's got, what? That's like 2 inches of clearance right there. He can feasibly be a little bit lower than that. I'm looking, I have another... Oh my god. I have an inappropriate flamethrower pose on my Boba Fett from Mandalorian. Yeah, I have him firing the flamethrower from his right hand, which I think is wrong. I'll have to double check that. But for me right now, what I've got here, this is good. This is awesome. This is fun. I'm gonna try to get this flame to go all the way in without breaking it. And I'm just a little bit leery of that, so I'm gonna let it go until I have a chance to actually take the hand off and fix it. But that's one of those minor tweaks that I'll make. Biscard Kid is commenting on my symmetry. Thank you, man. I try to achieve that in every pose that I do. And you can tell that's a Rodriguez element. The jetpack flying Mandalorians definitely took a giant leap forward when Rodriguez came on the scene. Definitely more... Their positions while they were in flight were more on the same level as what I would be looking for. How was that? Anyway, let me see. Scrolling right up here. Right? Or dog? Thanks, Beskar. Oh, I think I just said it. Yeah, I just pretty much summed it up. I really do feel like this, again, the culmination of all things Fett. And, yeah, just really glad to have it, and really glad to have it rounded out. I'm surprised that I waited this long to have it sent. Because I think it is my favorite. I do dig the look of the Tuscan robes beneath. Again, it's not a win-lose scenario. There are things to admire about all the different armors, and it's everybody gets to have their favorite if you so choose. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do some comparisons here, shall we? Seems like something that people would appreciate. I'm trying to figure out why my table is so freaking crooked. So let's put him here. And I'm gonna grab other Boba. It's all right, delicate. Okay. Huh. Yeah, as you can see, I've got Fett in just a weird... I don't know if things changed or if I just have him on the wrong... have it on the wrong hand. I'd have to go back and look at the instructions. But just looking at it, I don't think that the flamethrower will fit onto the flame effect. I don't think will fit onto this gauntlet. So I think I've done it properly. Perhaps I haven't. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this so that you guys. I think not only the actual having the comments up here, just having them in white is enough to like really offset the. It's like it overexposes. Here we go. Get them more center. So anyway, yeah, there we go. There's our two versions of Boba Fett that are... I love how much weight he's lost. You're seeing that? I love Tamora Morrison. There's that great... his great appearance at Celebration in London. Where he just gets out on stage and he's just so self-deprecating. He talks about how... like how they were giving him grief about his weight, and they were like, they called me Boba Fett. I have to appreciate that. Anytime that somebody's self-deprecating, I try to be self-deprecating as much as I can be. I think these poses are different enough that, yeah, they're definitely nothing alike now that I look at it. They're just two flying poses, and they look completely different. But this also goes to showcase the different tones in the green that I don't even think that I realized were so different until I got these two figures side by side. And I'd be interested in seeing just how accurate that is to the show. Looking down, I think that they're very close to Boba on Throne. The Boba on Throne is such a delicate setup in my DTOF that I'm reluctant to bring it out front, so I hope everybody forgives me for that. What time is it now? 11:17. That's a long freaking live stream. I think that it's safe to say that our... who am I missing here? I think it's safe to say that the 30A Nerds got his money's worth with this live stream because I went to 20 minutes overtime. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that, I think. Dad bought Fett for the win. Right? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, maybe so. I'll have to rewatch that bit. I don't even recall him using the flamethrower in The Mandalorian. Did he? I don't know. It's possible that they just attached it to this arm because that's the arm that Mando uses, and they just like, let's make him a flamethrower accessory. I don't know. All right, guys. That's all I got time for today. That's all any of you have time for today. I'm surprised that anybody's still left. It's been a long time, and I apologize for that. I'll try to stay on task next time. Yeah, they really are, dude. That Empire Strikes Back Boba with the swap out for the with the swap out armor pieces for the second look. Love it, love it. Mine's in the basement, so I don't love it too much, but it's coming up. In fact, that might be next week's figure. That's not true. I've got 2 battle droids coming. I'm going to be doing battle droid stuff next week. So, oh wait, did I do battle droid stuff? I did. Yeah, I'm not going to do another battle droid. I've already done that figure. Okay. Boba Fett, Empire Strikes Back, next week's show. That's it. That's all we have time for. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody who dropped a super chat. It goes a long way towards helping build the channel. I have ideas. Hopefully you'll see the results of those sometimes in the near future. And so be good to yourselves throughout the course of the week. Stop into the Poser Posse Facebook group and talk to us about all the things that you're doing. And SixScale, show off your favorite poses. You might get picked for a 3 strikes segment in next week's episode, or one of those episodes. And without further ado, I'm just going to go and let you go and just tell you once again, until next time, be good to your plastic. Peace out.